Jabari, just seen a video that you put up yesterday that Herman Smalls was interviewing you. And I'm sitting there remembering watching you get bodied. I'm going to say it again, bodied by Tazadok. Now, you have the nerve now to come up with the clickbait theory. So in other words, you figure you can put the name of Dane Calloway in your title so that then therefore you can start to gain some relevance. And as I keep hearing what you're saying is that everybody has to go through you to reach Africa. So you're the end all, be all, know all of everything about Africa. Do you understand the words coming out of your mouth and how silly that sounds? So in other words, anybody, so you done set yourself up as the Pope of Africa. You the high chair, the almighty, you the most high of all, everything about Africa, but still live here. You still live here where your feet came from, where you came from. And you got the nerve to try to play this clickbait. And then what is, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to respond. And it's going to be a whole lot of other responses going to follow. Trust and believe. Is not only were you destroying the man personally, trying to do personal attacks. Okay, personal attacks. But you also were trying to talk about the fact that Dane Calloway is a threat. This is the words you say, I'm gonna take him, pull away his African card. We don't have an African card over here. Name somebody that's got a card that says you Africa, that you got an African card. What are you talking about? Then you got Reggie in the background, who does nothing but stutter all the time, cannot get a clear sentence out without having 100 people around him. And then he's talking about that he wants to go and look into the genealogy and the background of him himself and his mothers and fathers to see who exactly he is. Who the fuck is you? So now you are a top genealogist, and now you're the end all of all that. I thought Utah had that in check. I thought everybody was flocking to go see what they were from 4-3 or what do you call it? 3-2 or 23-1, whatever you call it. 23-1 genealogy, all of your ancestry.com. And now you're in charge of that as well. And y'all pulling people cards and calling and saying people are intimidating and dangerous. Okay. So, but yet you say that you got to come out with the fire and brimstone and say, oh, I got your phone number. I heard it twice. You got Dane Calloway's phone number. Oh, and you left a message. And oh, you understand what's going on is not only is he a fake and a fraud, but he's also, he's scared. He's a coward. Now, you have in your main speech that Dane Calloway is a threat, but everything that your body mannerisms and everything that you put out is that indeed, in fact, it's the same old, you are a lie. Because, in fact, you are the threat. Because, in fact, you did threat. You can try to play it off at the end as well as you can, but brother, you were threatened, and you are threatened by the knowledge and wisdom that is coming out. And it's not just coming out from Dane Calloway. This information has been waiting to come out. You just happen to find a catalyst. So in other words, it's already been in motion. It's already been in motion. But suffering from disorders, suffering from mental problems have caused a lot to not be able to speak upon some things. But you know what? The veils are all being lifted and the truth is coming out. And you have found yourself in a position of being irrelevant. You are not relevant. And so quite naturally, what do? You come out and attack. You come out and attack someone that is relevant, someone that absolutely, if they did not get their analytics messed with on the YouTube or Facebook platform, guess what? They would have way over 1 million views. They can do, look, Dane can do a video for 35 seconds and get 500,000 views where it's going to take you 10 videos to get. So who's scared of who? Who's intimidated by who? And then you have the nerve to say that you are the end all of everything and that everybody got to go through you. Well, guess what? Guess what? I'm not going through you. You ain't you. What are you? You just a man. Now, we form an opinion from ever since we were born here. We have been told this lie ever since we came here. Now that we're figuring it out, just like you've had some knowledge base that has continued to grow, but you're stuck on something right now. So you feel like you have to stay in that lane. You are, and it's funny because you sit there and talk about, well, Brother Dane will sit there and read citations, and that in fact that he's switching around the citations and he's not showing sources. You just double talked yourself again, you devil. You just said that he's not showing source work, but now you just said that he's messing around with the citations. So what are you talking about? Then you have the nerve. Let's go back to the points. You have the nerve to sit there and say that, oh, okay, well, he's getting his material from sources that's European. These sources that he's getting, are questionable. Okay. Again, all information that has been tallied and taken down has been controlled by the conqueror from the beginning. So in other words, you get the same information and you form your own opinion by it as well. So the same thing that you've been doing for your many years is the same thing that we doing. The only difference is that we don't just stop and we say that, oh, that's the only path. What we do is we look at the word, break it down, as it says, line by line, and we go ahead and start to figure out the fraud from the truth. See, what it looked like to me is this. It looks like that somebody just got all up in their feelings because they making money. You dressed up in a dashiki type thing, right? So I'm sure you follow into the whole thing of Kwanzaa, which again was a made up ceremony of Christmas. Look it up. We don't need a source, nothing. Just look it up. It's made up. It's fake. It's just as fake as the made up roots and out of Africa theory that you keep talking about. Again, fraud, fake, fictitious. Now, when we talk about look, common sense, not nonsense, they ain't talking this. Look, he talking God sense, not nonsense. What are you talking about? Now, if you look at body language throughout the whole video, which I would suggest everyone to go check out, the body language of your queen that's right there by you was looking like you at the end boost her up as a doctor, that she has a doctorate, and that she is nobody to mess with. Okay, that's good. We don't get into all that. That's great. But why did you involve, if you a man standing upon your own two, why are you now involving others? Why are you involving your wife? Why are you involving your empress? This is a man-to-man discussion here. But again, when it's talking about debating, the first thing that came out of your mouth is this. Oh, well, I got Reggie on my side, on this side, and on the other side, I have somebody else on the other side. Okay, so now that just talks about, that's gang stalking. So you want to have 3-on-1 to discuss what you said, that you the king of Africa, that you got the high chair, you the high priest of Africa? Why do you need anybody on the side, on your left, on your right, in the front and the back when you got it all? What you just did is show your insecurity. What you just did is try to gain some relevancy. You probably got off of another channel. You probably got maybe 4, 5, 6,000 views. Whereas before, your shit was dying because, again, you already been bodied. Go back and look, y'all. And then not only was he trying to get in with Dane Calloway, but he's also trying to slam Ali Muhammad. You know, saying that, oh, well, I respect his scholarship. I respect that. But isn't this the same one that talks about Islam and the prophet? So again, you trying to find problems with your own self. What you're doing is you finding problems with your own self, and you're trying to fix yourself. And that's exactly what you're doing. That's called transference. So you look at everyone else, and now everybody's not flocking to the same sources anymore. Because people are awakened. So they're not going to the same sources anymore. You're left out. As a matter of fact, give it another couple years and you'll be right over here understanding. And then, listen, this dude had the nerve, Jabari, had the nerve to sit there and say that, oh, well, a couple years ago, everybody talked about in a negative connotation that Aboriginal meant that something negative. See, again, you still have to go back and look at the roots of the words. We can say Aboriginal, we can say autochthonous, and you can say indigenous, and they all have a similar meaning if you break it down. Marco, what's up? Peace to all the family. So, the King of Africa has said that anybody that talks about any subject that deals with Africa has to go through the King Jabari to get there. You have to go through Jabari to talk about anything about Africa. You got to go through him. When he's been on platforms and he's already been bodied and he's already done. Again, he's washed up. He's shaky. You don't know what he's talking about anymore. See, that's what it's about. And then you're going to have as your right-hand man, Reggie. Come on, y'all. Let's be real. Look at the debates. Look at the style and the format. And even them two, and you could even add a third, it is still not going to be enough. But here's the thing. Here's how you know how truth rings. Truth rings like this. Dane doesn't have to debate you because he stands on a higher ground than you. So in other words, you are down here, he's up here. He done already passed you. He passed you already. So why does he need to debate something that has been stuck in the minds of the people for the past 200 years? He's already ascended. So then therefore, why would he have to go backwards? Why would he have to go backwards in his research and studying and address you who is lagging behind? It's either you catch up or you stay back. So Dane is not going to engage in the foolishness because he knows where he stands. So he doesn't need to have a debate with you. You guys sit, look. We know it's a show. Debates that you have come up with in the past couple years have always been about getting clicks, about getting views. This is what this has been about. It's about seeing this argumentative divide and conquer mentality and getting views instead of like you said, getting everybody together. Everybody together. So, you know, I don't know what else to say about this silliness. For those that don't understand what I'm talking about right now, you need to go and look at Dane Calloway's videos and understand that not everybody came over here on a slave ship. Not everybody came over here during what they used to call the Middle Passage. Now they call it the transatlantic slave trade. Notice they changed stuff. Your classification as being somebody has always changed every 20, 30 years. And they do that because they take away your rights. So go check that out. Go check out that video and check it out and see what's up, and back your boy Calloway on this one. He ain't got nothing. He don't need to say a damn thing. He's clear. He's good. %98 of black people can't trace back to getting on. And this is what I was trying to say, Harvey. I said this in a video maybe 4 days ago, is that I'm waiting for people to show me not the new booties that have come from Africa here recently. I'm talking about those that are here, those that can go back into their genealogy and go as far back as they can, and they will see that mostly you will see what? That you are indigenous to this land. If you could trace your peoples back into the, look, as far as the 1600s, I believe it's a wrap. You were part of one of these indigenous tribes around here. Then you got to go by location to figure it out. That's where, when I did our studies, I end up finding it, and I was incorrect at one point, but we did some more corrections, and we found out the Nachi, which is right down there, Mississippi. So again, the only challenge is this: if you believe that your ancestry is African, that's fine. But again, those that are here, it's hard for you to show me proof that you came across any of them ships that they talking about. As Harvey just said, 98%. Somebody come on and show it. See, don't show me ancestry.com, which will give you can turn in your blood 5 different times and you get an answer of 5 different people of different tribes. They'll tell you from Ghana, you from Zimbabwe, oh, you from the Bush people, right? The hunter gatherers. The fuck are they talking about? So, again, and if you look, and that's exactly right, if you look at the words of the so-called conquistadors, your conquerors, and you look in their own words, they will tell you that the people that they ran across were the most orderly, that they had beautiful building, that they were the cleanest, that they had soaps, that they had deodorants and perfumes, and that they were astonished by it. Not that they just wrote about it. Now, understand, they just came from somewhere. They've been traveling all over the world. But when they came here, they saw something new. That's why they call it paradise. This new land, that's the reason why they rushed to come over here, because it's paradise. All of the exotic fruits, all the vegetables, all this beautiful that was here already. How could you not like it? They wrote about it. You got to just seek and find it. There's many source materials that we put up. Many. So I'm just saying, this whole situation of trying to bait Dane Calloway or to debate him or trying to make him look bad is ridiculous, because again, this is nothing but divide and conquer again. Listen, do your thing, be who you want to be. But understand that other people will break out of that because that's a learning curve. The General Education Board saw to that. They said that they want to create a docile people, meaning that you Negroes, if you want to call yourself that, you Negro domices, that they want you to be either in servitude or in jail. They don't want you to be doctors. They don't want you to be electricians. They don't want you to be professionals. They want you to be docile, sitting back, lazy, and not doing a damn thing. This is what the originators set up, and that's what they did. And that's why your man, Rockefeller, gave $2 million and his partner to start the General Education Board, which is today the public school system, which most of y'all have your children in the public school system. And that's why your children are walking around here like, you know, this shit is stupid that you're teaching me, and we're not listening to them. How many years is it going to take for the children to come home like, Dad, you know what I'm saying? Dad, I don't need to be here. This is stupid. They're teaching me nothing. Dad, right? Because they know, look, go, I said this, go look around your inner cities. For those of y'all that are in the cities. So I'm talking Los Angeles, San Diego, Miami, parts of Jackson, Mississippi, Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit. Go around and look at the schools that have not been updated, that we are in. And you can't tell me the difference between the public school, an institution for the mentally ill, or a jail. They all have the same vibration and energy. You got to understand that you are locked into that same vibration. So then you understand when the child comes out of that system, they're naturally conformed to follow that train of thought. The energy's trapped. See, so you already eliminated your children by just doing this simple deed of that. So I again ask you to take a look in your neighborhoods of your regular schools that have not been updated, and tell me if that's not the truth. So, you know, this debate is getting very interesting. You know, like I said, it's okay. Me and Harvey have seen so many different changes. We have seen so many different things that have gone on. But again, when someone is attacking it so viciously and have to do character assassinations about them and saying that I'm going to call and voice messages, I'm gonna look for you, then you know that you're dealing with somebody's money. And then Harvey, look at this. You know, I know they have a nerve to say that, oh, okay, the reason why he's doing this is because he's getting click money from YouTube. He getting money. I don't give a fuck if you got 2 million views. You ain't getting no goddamn dollars. You ain't getting no serious change where you can set up a fucking life like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? So again, catch up with the times, Jabari, before you say something. You saying shit that's out of date, out of time, out of order, out of line. Are you scared for the change? Are you that scared for the change? Are you scared to tell somebody that you're something else, that you're truly who you are, instead of something that somebody tagged on you, and told you that this is what you are? Okay, and then I'm going to tell you 5 other different terms of what you are so that I can claim your land, so I can claim your nationality, your birthright. You okay with that? The last one that we can think is Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson said in the caucus in 78, what did he say? The term African-American, and that caught on. Before that, Negro. Before that, colored. Before that, savage. Nigga. Morisco. The terms go on and on. Native. Indio. Mestizo. Yeah, I see they play. This is what happens when they start playing with my feed. They've been doing this for it's funny. It is so funny. I don't care if one of my videos got 100, if it got 10 million, I'm not going to have no fat ass check, and you're not going to see me riding around in a Benz, and I'm set. Because Google, they control all of that shit. So that comment was out of order. It was stupid and unnecessary. To then show your queen, it's almost, look, it's just history repeating itself. Mike O'Brien did the same thing, put his wife on the camera while this is a conversation between grown men. Then he has the nerve to have his wife on the camera who looked like she's MK ultrified, petrified, and don't know what to say. And when she does speak, look like she high as a kite. This is man to man here. This is not bringing in queen time, your empress time, or your buddies that you rocking with. No, you should be able to say for yourself. I don't have to follow somebody's script, because if I am, then I'm not being original. We can still be on the same page, but have different ideals. If that's the case, he knows what he's doing. He's sitting around misguiding people. There's so much misguiding of people. See, look. Why is it? Explain to me this. Why is it that we are spending time separating ourselves and not taking the same fucking energy and placing it where it needs to be? So in other words, you know it's the Jesuits, you know it's the Zionists, you know it's who it is. Why don't you have that same vitriol to them? The man. Why? Instead, when someone is getting the truth out, you gotta try to buck them down. You gotta try to hobble them down so that they come down. And then, oh, there you go. All the momentum that you just gained is now gone. Now, here's the funny thing. Do you know that this is all planned? You silly people don't realize that they already know that you're going to do this amongst yourselves, that they know that you're going to separate and divide yourselves before the time is over, before they even got to do a fucking one step. They already know that you're going to hobble your own before they got to do a fucking damn thing. And that's the scary shit. Look at all the so-called leaders, and look at all how that went down, and understand what happened. So, knowledge for you today. It's going to be another hot one. It's going to be about 95 up in here. You know, it's going to be. So, hey, keep studying. Get it in. Do what you got to do. Stay true. Cows fighting each other. There you go. The ones that speak the truth will be jumped on by their exactly. I can show you, man. That, to me, it's been hot. I don't got 106. Nah, that's even worse. I feel it. This melanin is working. The melanin that I got is working. Let's just put it like that. It's working. So, you know, my job is not sitting here to tell you who to believe in and who not to believe in. I'm trying to show you truth. We just showing truth. And for unnecessary attacks to occur and clickbaiting the man's name and putting him down outside of his work, something is wrong there. And then that's where it caught my attention, because I heard it talked about, but I didn't see it faced, basically right there in front of me. I saw it. And now that I see it, now I understand the depth of what this really means. What it really means is that within your own community, you do not have the right of free speech. Even among, look, they set that up with the Christian black codes. You don't have the right to, even within your own community, to speak your fucking mind without somebody hijacking you. Because if you don't follow the mantra of the kingdom, which is the rulers, if you don't follow that said mantra, massa, that's a bad nigga right there. That Negro there, he out of line. Y'all better go check him out. He talking bad, massa. And then suddenly having the hands out for the fucking scraps. Can I come into the house now, massa? I don't like to be in the fields where it's 106 degrees. I mean, it's simple. It's simple. So, for all of my brothers, there's pan-africanisms and RBG really haven't came out strong yet. But let me say this. All of the pans. Do you know who pan is? Okay, understand that. Look up what pan is. Okay, then come back and talk to me. You pan, but go look up who pan is. Okay, but if you are a pan-African now, and you've been living here, you grew up and domiciled in these here Americas, I want you to show me that you are African. Because guess what? You ain't gonna be able to do it. Very, very rare. But all the rest of us that have been hijacked, hoodwinked, bamboozled, guess what? When we could go into the 15, 16, and 1600s, some of us in the 18, 1700s, and you still here, and your family still here, then guess what? This is where you was at. No tricks going on, especially if you can go into the 1600s when the so-called, air quotes, big slave trade was going on. So that meant what? That your ancestors was already here, off the islands, down south, off the east, in the far, already here. They follow that sound of Pan's flute. And exactly. And who came up with the idea of that? You see, they say terms and that we are not scholars and that we don't study and that we don't show the sources and we don't do any of that. All because you've been on Black News 102 or Sonnetter TV for the past 20 years. So that means you guys have all the knowledge base. Now, don't get me wrong. All of us have learned a lot of different things through those sources. But what has happened is that divide and conquer has destroyed the original movement of what it should be. Instead of it being opinions on different ideals and takes, now it has to now be that you believe one way or you're not part of the platform. So tell me, whose theory was it to come up with divide and conquer? So I guess, since I'm speaking upon, on which Dane has got, it doesn't have to. I guess that Brother Jabari since he's talking about that we got to go through him, well, guess what? I'm ready. So, and guess what? It's a whole lot of other ones that's ready too, individually. I ain't talking about that I need hand to hand. I need all my brothers and sisters to come into a debate with you. Nope. I got my own information. I'll body you myself. So, tough guy, the almighty chair, the all grand poobah of all African wisdom. Why don't you go say that shit to in Africa itself? Go over there and claim the high chair of Africa of all knowledge and see how quick it is that your ass be thrown in the fucking bottom of a den with this fucking foolishness. They'll look at you like, well, wait a minute. Who are you? Let me look at your paperwork. Oh, you one of those Americans. Ah, I see. Nah. Hey. Kunta. Toby. Chicken George. Send him to the dungeons. Coming over here as a high chair or something. Grand poobah, muckety muck. Get the fuck out of here. See, I told you. You should have just stayed within your lane instead of calling somebody out. Now you're going to keep getting it because it ain't going to be just triple that's telling you. You're going to get more than triple that's going to come out because the truth rises to the top. You may try to hold it down. You may try to suppress it, but the truth rises to the top. And that's exactly what's happening. And what's at the top, family? Nothing but the cream, the milk and honey. So you go ahead and suck on them hog maws and them pig foots while I got the milk and honey with the rest of our family. So I'll be looking for the rest. I'll be looking to check out the chief. Peace to the chief. Peace to 432 to drop. Peace to Lex Will. Peace to AP. Peace to all the family, everyone that's dropping any kind of information. I don't care if you got 1 subscriber or 1 million subscribers. Peace to all of y'all. Because when I look at myself, I see you. And when you see yourself, you should see me. We're family. Tribe up, feathers up. Rise up. Peace, Jim.